I did not realize this because when I playtested Palace in the beta, Nathan Ferguson wasn't injured. And so my first preseason game came up, and I thought, okay, I'm going to start Nathan Ferguson at defensive right back. Where is he? And then I looked and realized, oh, he got injured in May, a week after Ebre Eze did, and he's out for the next 4 to 5 months. So that led to some activity in the transfer window. We brought in Steven Sessegnon from Fulham for $5.75 million, going to $6.75 million based on appearance fees, amongst a couple other things. We were able to do that because we sold Sheku Kouyaté to Real Madrid for $13.25 million, and then, as expected, because this happened to me in the beta as well, Wilfred Zaha pitched an absolute fit, except this time he's actually wanted by other teams. I doubt I'll let him leave, though, unless I get an absolutely fabulous offer for him, because, frankly, I don't have a ton of depth that I would trust to replace him. So we've loaned out more than a few players, some of them for actual money. Sean Robertson to Tranmere is probably the only one. Kirby, Raymond, Kamani Gordon, Mooney, and so on and so forth. I try loaning them out, and normally when I loan out my youngsters, I say, hey, I want you to be a squad player at best. All the offers came back for like fringe player impact subs. I denied them, and then they all said, how come you didn't loan me out? Why didn't you let me go? Why didn't you let me go out on loan? And I was like, oh, okay. You know, I would much prefer you get playing time somewhere, but if that's how you feel, that's how you feel. We did get a new affiliate, and I know I'm clicking on the wrong place. Yeah, I was clicking on the right place. Affiliate clubs. We picked up Stevenage in Sky Bet League 2 next year, or maybe in the spring. I'm going to try for one more, see if I can't get a League 1 team, and then next year go after a team overseas that we might be able to loan players to get some first-team playing time over there. One of the things I found out in my beta when I was testing this was you can get all the youngsters you want. They can be really good youngsters, but the issue is if they don't have international experience, and we're going to go over that here in a little bit, and they haven't been regular starters for their squad, they're not going to get a work permit, at least at the Premier League level. Some of the players you can start in the Vanarama or League 2, and they'll qualify for a work permit there. Don't ask me how. I sat there for literally an hour, tried figuring it out, because I thought, if you can get a work permit to qualify for Bromley, why can't you get a work permit to qualify for the Premier League? It wasn't happening. So at the end of the day, I had probably 4 or 5 really good youth players that I couldn't loan out, and when I did loan out, they didn't want to accept any of the offers made for them because they thought they were being undervalued. And I was like, dude, you've got to go out, you've got to play, because you're not getting it here in the under-18s or the under-23s, and eventually I had to sell a couple. Now, granted, I did make money off of them, but I would have made a lot more money off them had they developed more and we'd been able to develop them more, which I realize I just said. But, you know, you bring in a youth player, you spend £500,000 on, and then you turn around and sell him 3 years later for £5 million because he's only improved just a little bit while he's been at your club. You know, if he got some playing time and improved a little bit more, maybe you've been able to sell him on for, 10, 15, especially when it says they're valued at 24. That was annoying. It was really, really annoying. So we brought Steven Sessegnon in, and then he got injured. I swear it says he was injured. Is he on my under-23 squad? He's on my under-23 squad. I don't know why he's on my under-23 squad. He should be on my senior squad. But he's out with a twisted ankle for the next 2 to 5 weeks. The other players here, they're all youngsters or something like that. Nothing too major. Ferguson and Eze are the 2 major injuries. My big fear is Eze is not going to come back near the player he was, and Ferguson's potential ability is probably going to get knocked. I spent an inordinate amount of time trying to improve the coaching staff. As you can see, we've still got a couple of scout positions open. We have improved a decent amount, at least in the coaching staff. The under-23s, they're still being filled out. The under-18s, they're still being filled out. One of the reasons that is because I brought in Nicky Butt as my technical director. Now, he is a very good technical director. Well, now he is an okay technical director. His judging ability is really good. His negotiating could be better. One of the reasons I brought him in was because I could actually afford him. He wasn't demanding an outrageous salary. And you look at it, $2,800 a week isn't really outrageous. I found some really good quality coaches that wanted upwards of $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, £8,000 a week, and the board would only go to 4.7. So at this point in our career, we're really kind of forced to they're not lesser quality. They're still good coaches. If we had the payroll, they're not the best we could have signed, though, but they're best we could afford. So if you look at the most part, we've really improved in a few areas. Let me go here. We'll go by head coach. Jesus Cañadas Morcillo doesn't look all that outstanding in like the attacking, defense, mental, physical, but he's good in the technical, the tactical, the management, and the youth. The other thing he is good at is his tactical knowledge is a 13, which counts for quite a bit when you are looking at assistant coaches and what they do. Gary Issa is my new head of youth development. Balanced personality, 17 motivating, 14, 15 on player potential, player ability. Works with youngsters is 14. One of the things going forward that we are going to work on is improving our youth recruitment and our youth coaching and improving the facilities. If I found, at least in the beta, if I do that gradually, like if I go to them like every 6 months with a different request, that kind of feeds in, and then I can also say, hey, we're playing catch up with some of the other teams in our league. The board has a tendency to approve them. Saeed Aguilan comes in as a very nice coach. Sean Derry I kept just because he's kind of a jack of all trades, master of none. One of the reasons I brought in Nicky Butt was because at least on the responsibilities, especially in terms of staff, he should be the one going out. He's hiring the medical staff. He's hiring the under-23 coaching staff. You know, I get final approval on them. If they're horrible or something like that, I'll turn around and say no. It's just that the past 10 days or so in game, he hasn't really given me anything to sign. He signed a couple medicals. He signed a couple medical personnels that I really like, so he's improving them there. So the one area I did spend another inordinate amount of time on was in the scouting. Now we still have 2 spots open in the scouting, and I'm looking for particular type of scout, in that I'm looking for someone who can scout or has knowledge of a region and is young enough that they can improve. Now, we've improved our scouting to 7th in the league, which was a step up from where it was before. If we look at my recruitment team, one of the things you'll notice is I've added in their current playing ability, I've added in their potential scouting ability, and I've added in the one area where they really excel, or in a couple cases, the regions which they really excel. So Khaled Badra, who I will pull up here, he's 48 years old. He's Tunisian. Yeah, he's 11 player ability, 11 potential, but he is essentially North Africa. I'm calling that North Africa, even though he's down into Central Africa and the Middle East. It just wouldn't fit. This is just going in and giving him a nickname. If I wanted more space, I could have taken the H out, or the Khaled and Khaled out to give me some more space, but this to me tells me what he's good at. One of the ones I did change quite a bit was Maturana. He's 16, 18, and then he is Brazil. But one of the other things you're looking at is you're looking at adaptability. Almost all of my scouts, to some degree, have a very high adaptability. Abdul Al-Karim is probably the best example of this. He has 10 playing ability, a 9 player potential. Nigeria is his only area that he knows really well, but he has 20 adaptability. 10 determination is average, but that means he's going to be able to go out into Africa and adapt to those countries really quick. And because he's 25 years old, I'm fully expecting those to improve. If he can get to like 12-12, 13-13, that's fine. Now, one of the things I did this particular scouting was I've taken control of scouting. I'm doing the assignments. And so what I've done, essentially, assignments-wise, and I don't know why it hasn't flipped over yet. Yeah, here it is. Current assignment. So, as an example, Maturana is 16 current, 18 potential. He's in Brazil. He is currently scouting South America North for hot prospects. Khaled Badra is North Africa. He's searching for hot prospects in North Africa. Alberto Acosta, his area is Western South America, because those were the countries over there. I got him looking at South America North for hot prospects. Paul Montgomery and Chris Jones, I have yet to assign. Right now, they're just kind of out there. If I get a player coming across in the news, or agent says, hey, take a look at my guy, I can have them go out and scout them. I will probably assign them something to here shortly. Kareem is in Western Africa because he has Nigeria as his country. So he will be going out there searching for youth prospects. Tahino Cruz is South America, but I've got South America North and South America North twice. What I need to do is stop this assignment, and then we're going to go create new assignment. We're going to go player type, hot prospect, regions, South region, South America South. And then if I go into my scouting pool, it'll pull up the guys, their potential, their probability, and Brazil, North America, Tahino Cruz, South America. So I'm going to select Tahino Cruz because he has 17, 19. And if we were to look at him a little closer, and I couldn't get it to fit, I wish they'd put the determination on there. But he has 16 adaptability, rather. I meant adaptability. So I'm looking for scouts for a particular area, Scandinavia and probably Eastern Europe. So what I'm going to do is we go to staff search and we do our edits and we say staff role as scout, preferred job as scout. Then we do something like nation knowledge level is at least 80% for, like, say, Sweden. So we do that. That'll give us a list of the coaches who meet that criteria. So if we sort by potential ability and current ability, Michael Hjelmberg at Hammarby is the best one. He's 42 years old, but I'm looking at probably Hampus Andersson, who is at Häcken. So if we take a look at him, he's Sweden, Denmark, Finland, Iceland, Norway. The 7 adaptability is a bit of a bummer, though. So if we go back over here and we look, we have Andres Jimenez from Sweden, who's an 11-11, but he's 19, he's 35 years old. And he's got the Scandinavian countries. So we're going to, well, you know what? We're going to do two things. We're going to go to Mikael Hjelmborg and just see if we can sign him. Do 140,000 in compensation. I'm okay with that. And we want him on a 5-year contract. So we'll exit the talks, but what we'll do is we'll come back and put Andres Jimenez on the short list just in case, just for a month, just in case Helmberg doesn't sign. Then we go back up to our edit search and we say Russia. At 80%. There's only 2 guys. Are you kidding me? So if we lower this down to 60%, is that going to give me more? 2 guys. Wow. One of whom is 70-year-old Aldo Pacini. This is really weird. I suspect it's because I have everybody loaded. I have all the nations loaded, at least on playable, and then I went through and added all the players. But I suspect what I forgot to do was add coaches and that to existing teams. So I suspect there's teams that came in. Well, this is, okay, Spartak Moscow. So if I look at Spartak Moscow and then I go to staff, all, job, coach, doctor, scout. Why are you not showing up in my scouting thing? So I take a look at Daniil Bazanov, 7-7. Russia, 100%. Russia, 100%. That is really weird. What if I take off preferred role? That's just really weird. Okay, that's just the game being weird. Well, I may just have to go poach a scout from a really good team like, well, I'd say Spartak or Siska or Dynamo. We'll figure it out. Preseason-wise, we did okay. I like setting the friendlies myself. These ones are already set. I threw in the Hoffenheim game just because we had a break between the Stellenbosch game and playing Norwich, who we're going to play today. We're going to skip the Carabao. I'm playing Brentford in the Carabao. I'm playing Brentford that I care about, then I'm playing him again 4 days later. It's just, one of those things. So we were down in South Africa for our training camp, and we played a bunch of South African teams, and we just absolutely dominated them. The Hoffenheim game, they scored in the 54th minute to break the tie. We did play kind of a really rotated side, though. And it was one of those cases where I let the assistant coach do all the friendlies. I clear out the tactic. I set my tactic up, then I clear it out in the preseason. That way, the assistant coach ensures that everybody's getting some playing time. So he does a really good rotation, better than I could. So we're playing Norwich today. They got promoted last season. They're not all that good. I think they're pipped to be relegated. Yeah, by consensus, them and Brentford are pipped to be relegated. I keep saying pipped to be relegated. I don't know why. The transfer window is still open, so there's probably still going to be some moves made beyond what's happened now. If I can get a couple loan players in for a couple positions, I'm going to try and do that. Next episode, I'll go into scouting a little bit more, and one of the most underutilized tools in the game, assuming they fixed it in the beta, because it was broken in the beta, which was a real pain in the ass, pardon my French, when you consider what you have to go through to set it up. So we're playing Norwich today, and this is our starting 11. We're going to have Guiada in goal, Mitchell, Guehi, Anderson, and Klein as the defensive back four, Gallagher and Milivojevic as the midfielders, Zaha and Olise as the attacking midfielders, Mateta and Edward up top as the strikers. The one area I'm really worried about is defensive right back, because I have a 30-year-old Klein with a 31-year-old Martin Kelly and a 31-year-old Joel Ward as my primary players there. I'm looking for a lone player I can bring in who can play all the defensive back positions. That way I can get him in on like a squad contract, sit him on the bench, and just bring him in as necessary. Zaha is currently wanted by Newcastle. If Newcastle makes an offer, I might consider it, because I can play Ayew at the right, Hughes can also play at the right, and I can move Olise over to the left. Am I really forgetting anybody? Hughes, Rearwald, and Schlupp are my backups there. Ayew is my backup there. He's also my backup here along with Will Hughes. We are good. For some reason, Michael Olise is nervous. That is only slightly concerning. I really think if SI wants to screw with managers, they'd randomize where the questions would show up. Because it's too easy now just to pick the second one, or alternate between the first and second ones. Kickoff highlight. Nothing good can come of this. Unless, of course, because this is a new save, I have it on extended highlights. We want key highlights. We want the replay events to be the goals and the tight offsides, and then we are going to go sideline, camera zoom, camera height, and we got to speed it up a little bit. Williams gets it, drives forward, centers it. Oh, knocked away by Guehi. Throw in for Palace. Mitchell to Gallagher. Back to Mitchell. Zaha. Back to Guehi. He curls a pass across the field to Klein. Klein drives forward. Gives it to Olise. Olise feeds Edward. Edward back to Olise. And Olise gives it away to Dowell. Oh, Olise gets it back. Gets it back to Klein. Milivojevic to Anderson. Anderson to Olise, or Klein to Olise. Klein feeds Olise again. Olise tries sending it in from Mateta, but it's intercepted by Norwich. Rashika sends it forward to Pukki, who got behind the defenders, and he scores. Not the way we wanted to start the season, with a goal in the second minute of the match. That was a nice long pass, though. It was a good assist. Williams to Norman. Back to Williams. Crosses it in. Rashika's there. Guiada, easy stop. Kick it right. Kick it right. Olise is open. Why is he holding it up? He's banging it forward. Zimmerman heads it down to Norman. Gilmore. Oh, the ball's taken away by Gallagher. Gallagher driving to the right. Crosses it. Edwards there, and he slots it near post. A quick reply. Gallagher driving to the right. Oh, Mateta looked offsides there for a minute, but he was either tripped or he fell down. And because they didn't call the foul, I'm going to say he fell down. Oh, Gilmore. Gibson, top the box. Oh, what a shot. What was that? What was that? It was a heck of a nice shot is what that was. Another highlight. Rashika heads it back to Aarons. Avoids the slide tackle. Did Zaha foul him? No penalty. Oh, just outside the box. It's almost as bad as a penalty. But there's no highlights. Okay. Now, one thing I am noticing here, at least for the moment, is Zaha's coming a little bit too far inside. I understand there's some issues with the match engine this year with inverted wingers and the like, where they're either playing too wide or they're coming inside. So what we're going to do is, for the moment, we're going to go to Zaha. And we're going to say, stay a little bit wider. We're playing a high line, but not the highest line. And we're pressing, but not all that often, because frankly, we just don't have the quality of players we need to do that. And we go into the half, down a goal. They've had 11 shots, 5 on target. We've had 5 shots, 5 on target. But only the 1 half chance. For some reason, all my attackers are anxious. Mitchell on the throw-in. Gallagher. He gives it away. Pookie. To Rashika. Back to Gilmore. Gilmore to Rashika. Out to Aarons. Back to Rashika to Gilmore. A lot of back and forth. Ozan to Zimmerman. Gilmore. Long cross. Headed away. Guayata's going to come up. Give it to Anderson. Back to Guehi. Guehi to Milivojevic. Edward. Long pass for Mateta, who got by the defenders and absolutely skies his shot over the crossbar. What the heck? Milivojevic. Back to Anderson. Anderson to Guehi. Guehi to Gallagher, who picked up an injury. What happened there? Gunn holds onto the ball. Bombs it forward. Rashika got between the defenders. Guayata, very nice save. That was a bit dangerous. It's like a pulled thigh. We'll replace him with Will Hughes. That's who I was going to replace him with anyways. Gilmore on the corner kick. Knocked away. Rashika's going to run down the carom. Back to Gilmore. To Rashika to Norman. Rashika top of the box. Oh, Dowell scores on the turnaround. What was that? I made the substitution. They didn't take Gallagher off before the corner. Gallagher was still on the field. And just... Well, we've got to come off the positive and go to the attack. Milivojevic gets the corner but can't get it forward. Mitchell runs down the ball. Crosses it in for Zaha. He feeds it back. Edwards there for the tap-in. We get it back. What did Zaha... Are they saying he's straight off sides? God, bless America. Ball's headed away, back and forth. Rashika ends up with it. To Norman, to Pookie. Pookie goes wide. Gilmore, and they get a fourth. Pookie got a second one. Jiminy. Norman to Gilmore. Pookie was sitting just between the defenders. Gibson on the throw-in. Pookie back to Gibson. Klein steps in front of it. Gets the ball to Anderson. Milivojevic up to Edward. Edward up in space for Mateta. He was probably offsides, but he skies his... Well, he doesn't sky it. He pushes it right. We're 62 minutes in. We are going to get Klein off because he picked up a yellow and bring on Martin Kelly. Everybody is having a suboptimal game. Edward's the only one that's 6'7". Well, Hughes is 6'7" or better. Williams on the throw-in. Pookie to Rashika. Guiata, I'm not going to say nice stop, but he stopped it. Mateta to Edward. Edward drives left, gets the ball to Zaha. Zaha pushes forward, cuts inside, centers it. Mateta's there. Edward's there. Hits the post. How many woodwork hits is that? One for us. Gilmore from distance. Zimmerman heads it over the crossbar. Long ball forward. Pookie heads it, but it goes errant. Anderson picks it up. Gets the ball to Kelly. Kelly to Elise. Elise to Edward. Edward up into space for Mateta. Mateta has it, holds it up, centers it. Edward's there, and he buries it. His second of the match. It's not over till it's over. Nice job by Edward, just sitting at the top of the box. Sitting at the top of the 6-yard box, I should say, and just definitely tipping it home. Gunn, short kick to Ozan. Ozan's killing time, gets the ball to Zimmerman. Zimmerman back to Gibson. Gibson to Pookie. You know what? We've got to make a change here real quick. We've got to, and this is probably a little bit too little too late. We have to... mark tighter. Pookie to Dow. Oh, Rashika was offsides, but he pushed his shot left. They're saying he was onside for that? Good gracious. Last chance. Gilmore sends it in. Norman heads it wide left. And just over. Wow. Hopefully this is not a portent for the future. 13 shots, 8 on target. 1 block shot, 1 woodwork chance, 3 clear-cut chances, 4 half chances, and we still fall 4-2. Man. And now my team is no longer anxious. So we are going to save the game here. Let's see what happened to Gallagher. 7 days to 2 weeks with a pulled thigh. That's not too bad. So we are going to come back for Everton and Arsenal. That gives us a decent amount of time. Well, we might have a care-about match in here as well. If we do, we'll come back for that, assuming we get past Brentford. Because the transfer window closes on the 31st. So it closes after the Brentford game. So it closes here. Now, do we come back for Man City Wolves? I guess maybe we come back for Man City Wolves. We see how well we do against a couple of really good clubs. Yeah, that's what we'll do. We'll come back from Man United Wolves. And I'll also talk about setting up ScreenFlow, which is a really, really good tool. It's just a real pain to set up. And it's useful for any level of football you're playing at. We'll look at some shortlist creation, and we'll look at some potential scouting opportunities and some potential youth players. Got a couple of players I'm looking at. I might bring in on trial and see if we can get them signed for some depth and possibly some future money. So, not the best start to the season, especially after a good preseason. But we've got the back room set up most of the way we want it. Still got a couple scout positions to fill. Still got a couple coaching positions to fill on the U23s and U18s. But I'm happy with where the senior squad is. I'm happy with the scouting we brought in. What we need to do now is start bringing the club up in terms of facilities, scouting range, and opportunities. So they want to develop youth through the youth system. That means we have to either develop them internally or bring them in so they can become English citizens and then play for Old Blighty. But probably not. But at least play for us without worries of work permits. I swear work permits are going to be the bane of this save. If it's not going to be work permits, it's going to be performances like that. Edward had a very nice game. He was the only one who had a very nice game. Mateta had a 7.0, but that was based on the assist he had. So going forward, we need to improve. Mid-table's the goal, and we should get there. Knock on wood. So that said, if you did like what you see here, please leave a like. Subscribe to the channel for more content. Questions, criticism, comments, leave those down below. I'll answer those as fast as I can. My name is FM22. I thank you for watching.